Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in Channel Child More. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to the Channel Child More. Please remember to keep your comments decent and offensive, and let's get into the video. So, 4.2, I was talking about how the kid, this 11-year-old shot and killed his father. Now, he obviously said to police that he shot and killed somebody. He doesn't know why, he claims. And this just said that the kid is just mentally retarded and mentally stupid. Alright, so, alright, you want to be like that stupid here and pretend like you have no idea why you did what you did? Okay, yeah. Yeah, good luck. The cops will find out who you shot and that you just... And then, it's like you're not going to get away with it. So, I mean, believe me, cops have ways of finding out what you did. Alright? So, yeah, they're going to be able to find out exactly what you did. You went and grabbed your gun from the safe, or the family gun, and you went to your father's side of the bedroom and you just murdered him with a gun in his sleep. You killed him. So you're guilty as sin. Alright, you're guilty as murder. So, you know what? Next thing, it's gonna be jail cell for you, buddy. So, because, truth is, you are just going to have a horrible life ahead of you. Alright? And nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Alright? I can just guess that because you don't know who you shot, alright? And, exactly why you shot somebody. Okay? I think that would actually tell me right there you're mentally, unstable. Like, your brain's just probably doesn't function right. And maybe you have, a lot of, probably mental health problems. Alright? Alright? And I'm not a doctor, but, a lot of times that people just can't think straight. A lot of times it's because they're not, mentally unstable. But, I can't... I can't just... I can't figure out this whole motive here. Alright. I have no idea why you would, murder somebody in cold blood. Alright. So, I'm not really getting the whole picture here. The whole thing is just, puzzling me. So, like, why would somebody in their right mind just think that you could just get away with murder? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. All right? Yeah, you know how many people go out and do stupid crimes like this? Yeah, it's, I guess the amount of Americans that commit these stupid crimes like this, I say that there are probably a great number of Americans that go out and commit these stupid crimes. And why? But either they're very stupid, they're mentally retarded, like this kid might be, and they just, they have like these, you know, they just don't. They're just, you know, they're so just stupid, So I just don't know what to say to these idiots. But obviously, you're going to. Well, I hope you have a nightmare. I hope you have a nightmare for the rest of your life. You deserve it. You deserve to be treated like. Um. You deserve to be. You just deserve. Justice. And you know, I don't think that you should be I don't think you deserve I don't think you deserve I don't think you deserve freedom anymore. I don't think so. Not with how mentally retarded you are in the head. I mean, come on. I mean, like, isn't that part just pretty much true? And wouldn't that part just pretty much be the case right there? I mean, yeah, I would actually think so. I would think so. So if you obviously don't have any idea, like who you shot and why you shot somebody, you make that claim to the police, deep down, you already know who you shot. You shot your father over Nintendo Switch being taken away from you because you were told to put it up. And yeah, people are watching these videos and everybody is almost like saying the same thing. I would be surprised if Penguin was talking about this. Rich of Review Tech USA 2 would be saying the same thing. You know what? Rich used to cover crime stories like this. Yeah, so, yeah. So, this idiot would, you know, this is what you are. You stupid, pathetic, little kid who's probably an 11-year-old retard that just like mentally retarded Yeah, you know what? Yeah, people, yeah. You know why you did what you did. Alright, this part's pretty clear. Yeah. And you know what? You know, people are going to know why you did what you did. You know, I have to say that, you know, there are people that are just, you know, they're so stupid these days. You know, people, it's like this is what people are just full of. They're just full of BS. You know, the average American, I hear stories about Americans just committing all sorts of crimes. Yeah, that's, it's just, you know, you know, so I just can't really, like, wrap my head around it. What was the motive here? Because I'm not understanding that. Okay, this would be this would be job for authorities to figure this out. Alright, I just, you know, it just bothers me so much that a little kid would go to the extent of just murdering his father over a Nintendo Switch being taken away from him. I can't imagine something, you know, more horrific than this. Alright, yeah, and yeah, before news media actually get the, before they actually get the idea that no, video games don't cause real world violence, alright? And you know who would actually be saying that? You know, Fox News would be actually saying that. You know, just remember that video games don't cause real world violence. Alright? This is what Fox News would actually not say. This is what Fox News would actually say. They said that these violent video games are the cause of real world violence. No, they're not. And remember, Fox News is your daily source of misinformation and propaganda. And Newsmax, if you watch that too. Alright, there are news sources out there that actually sell you misinformation and propaganda. So, in no way does this have to, alright, in no way do video games cause murder. Alright? These people and news sources are indeed lying to you if they say that, well, yeah, the video games do. Well, no. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Okay, where's the proof? If you have the evidence that you can give me where video games do cause real-world violence, then, prove it. Prove to me that video games cause real-world violence, alright? I'd be like, dude, if I were to go play Call of Duty in VR, you think I could compare that to real-world violence?
3, 2, 1, go!
Probably. It might look like it's real because it's in VR, but, I have to say, I would say that just because it's in VR, well, that doesn't make it, I don't think that it would make, real world violence worthy. Okay? So, there's no proof that video games cause real violence, so I don't know why you would try so hard to actually make that case. There? Besides, if anybody was commenting on the comment section, they would agree with me and they would say that there's no evidence that video games cause real violence. Alright, and you can't make it like a case that, in the kid's case, he was probably playing a violent video game that made him shoot and kill his father. Like, did you just grab that gun and just out of the safe and just killed his father? After playing, let's just think of the most violent video game, which would probably be like Call of Duty or Galgun or, whatever. And let's say that, that was a case of this 11-year-old kid was playing a violent video game and because of this made him want to murder his father. You can't make that case. So, yeah. If the President of the United States were to say that the reason why these violent video games are just so destructive that it's rotten Americans' brains, really. And it's just making everybody confused in this country, thinking that, hey, whatever happens in the video game, I can just do the stuff in, in the real world. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The stuff that you can do in video games, yeah, is different than what you can do in reality. And this, I would say that, for going out and just beating like the living trash, and beat the living hell out of somebody, it's, it's just basically, this would be like, straight up murder. Alright? So I gotta say that Super Smash Brothers, yeah, I'd say if you were playing, like, in real life Super Smash Brothers, yeah, you know what, I would say, I would say that, this would be like straight up murder. If you wanted to go beat the hell out of somebody, I would be saying that this would be a real big crime, and this would be if you murder somebody, you're looking to spend, about a decent amount of your time behind bars. Yeah. So, yeah. What weapon did the kid use to shoot his father in his sleep? And what was the motive? Alright? These are questions that the court would want to find out. Alright? Yeah. And, the whole, if this trial goes live, I would love to watch, like, this trial take place, because I just want to know, I want to know why this kid just did what he did. And his family just hating him for it, then he deserved it. Because I can say he definitely deserved to be hated for doing what he did. Alright? I don't care about if anybody were to say, hey, you know what, bro, you can go to hell. Alright? For, committing a murder crime like this. Because this is where murderers go, and it isn't going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pretty. This is just, it's like how it is, bro. I'm sorry, but the truth hurts. So, video games don't cause real world violence. There's zero evidence and zero proof. Alright? And yeah, the social media sites that like spread misinformation and propaganda, they could probably prove it. Yeah, well, here's the evidence right here. Here's the evidence that video games cause real world violence. Yeah, you know what? Fox News and Newsmax could actually make a chart trying to prove that video games cause real world violence when there isn't. Really. And they would actually, Newsmax and Fox News could end up making up charts and try to prove their points and that stuff. You know why they're making these propaganda educated guesses and all this stuff? It's because they want to tickle the audience's ears, and they want money. This is all that Fox News and Newsmax would actually care about. So, yeah, that would actually just, pretty much just make my point. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Do love, like what we said here, please comment, like, subscribe to the channel, Charles Morse. Again, please remember to keep your comments decent and not offensive. And, well, I guess, this 11-year-old is just going to have a real bad future ahead of him. And I'm not going to be, I'm not murdering, because that's not the type of future that I want to be having. And again, there is no world proof that video games cause real world violence. This is Charles Morse. Have a good day. I will see you on the next video.